right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our September edition of our On Time Courier podcast here at US Pack. I'm Kevin Beasley, Director of Contractor Procurement, and I get to be fortunate enough to be your host for these, and it's something I certainly appreciate. And again, as a critical part of the team, we have Kate Wiles, who is behind the scenes doing everything, directing, producing, editing. She really is the magic that makes this thing happen. So thank you to Kate for all you do. So we've got a great edition for you this month. First of all, we're going to start out by saying thanks to you, our independent contractors. In September, which you'll get this podcast a little after this, but we certainly want to acknowledge that September 14th to 20th is National Driver Appreciation Week, and and man, we couldn't have a better fleet of business owners and independent contractors to partner with than we do today. Thank you for all that you do, running shipments to our customers. Some very critical each and every day that play a big part in people's lives, and you do it safely, professionally, and always remember you are the face of US Pack in front of the customer when you're there. So thank you for all you do. I think you're going to have some other people in this edition kind of thank you also and appreciate and recognize you. But I certainly want to be the first one to do that, to thank you for all that you do for our company and for our many customers. So thank you. Uh, Big addition this month with we've got two regional directors with us. One is Gene Moore, who'll be coming on with us. Gene is our director of our critical mile division. Uh, Gene has got a world of knowledge in the transportation industry, and I'm sure we're going to have a great discussion with him. And then secondly was Svetlan. Svetlan is a director of operations in our healthcare region. Also, world of knowledge, knows the transportation business inside and out. So I'm really looking forward to what they're going to be able to share with us and really fill us in on what's going on both in the industry and in our company. So we're looking forward to that. And then, of course, I certainly can't forget that in between those two guests, Liz Billias, our executive vice president, will be here with our monthly safety message, and of course, nothing is more safe or more important than you safely delivering your shipments every day and going home to your family and friends, and certainly want to make sure that we stress the importance of that. Uh, so we will go ahead and get started with that. Again, a reminder. If there are certain items you'd like to see us discuss or questions or guests you'd like to have on here, please reach out and let us know. We can. This edition is for you to help you be successful here at US Pack, help you know what's going on in both our business and in our company. So if you have any questions at all or guests you'd like to see, please reach out and give us that feedback. We would like nothing more than to personalize this as much as we can for you. So, having said all that, we got a lot to get started. We're going to go over and I'm going to start talking with Gene Moore, who's, again, Director of Operations in our Critical Mile Division. And we'll get started with that. So, let's go get started. All right, everybody. And as promised, our first guest today, we are very fortunate to have our Director of Operations for our Critical Mile Division, and that is Mr. Gene Moore. Gene, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Kevin?
I'm good. Looking at your background there, I'm guessing you like boats and you like NASCAR, it looks like.
I sure do. I sure do. It's one of my passions is a couple of things of that for sure.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Good. Well, Gene, thank you so much for spending some time with us today with our contractors to help share some of your knowledge with them. One of the things I think maybe our fleet would like to hear about is, as director of operations, what does a typical day look like for you? What do you get into? What happens for you during a business day?
So I will start out with Kevin with that is my typical day. I get up very early. I start out about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And a typical day is, preparing for what's going to happen between the hours of 8 and 5. And a lot of it is really around customer and our business partners, that we talk to every day on a daily basis. It's very important to me to have those interactions so I can understand what's happening and to be able to feed that information between different groups so that everybody's on the same page. To me, that's the most rewarding as well.
Awesome. No, thank you for that, Gene. And I can personally attest to the fact that Gene gets up early. I have received emails and spoke to him very early in the morning sometimes. So when he says he gets up early, he's not exaggerating there, no doubt.
I love to prepare for the day, that's for sure.
Yep. Uh, so as you look at critical mile and where we are today, Gene, obviously, there's been a lot of change in the business over the last couple of years and in our industry. What's the thing right now with critical mile that's going on that really gets you excited every day, or that our contractors would really like to hear about?
I think what really excites me right now is with for our contractors especially is the KPIs that we engage in. And what I mean by that, Kevin, is from the KPI standpoint, it takes a team effort, and our contractors are the biggest part of that team. Without them, unfortunately, we can't hit those goals. And I like to see that those KPIs are hit. I constantly do review them, and I really push the teams, to really work towards progressing with in putting that information out there so everybody understands what the goals are.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. I know, the more data, the more information you have about what's happening in the business, the better we can be prepared for changes and provide the best experience we can. So that's good. And then as you were talking about, obviously the KPI metrics, which are extremely important, I was also thinking about, over the past year, if you look at, I guess programs we've implemented for our contractors as well. So we have Quick Pay today. We have the Benefit Hub, which is substantial for contractors to go out there and look at it and take advantage of it. So we do a lot more with not only KPIs and metrics, but a lot of stuff that we're doing for our fleet today, don't we?
We sure do. I hear a lot of good things about the quick pay, and I know a lot of the contractors. It makes it so much easier for them to, access their cash quickly and have those funds readily available to do work. I mean, and that's what's important on a daily basis, and it's much appreciated in everything that we're doing for them. And if I'm sure if people will come along and say, "Hey, there's something else I wish you would do more," and that goes down to a little bit of collaboration from our contractors today.
Agreed. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So, Gene, one of the things, I enjoy speaking with you quite a bit because I kind of refer to you and I as a couple old war
Really?
horses. I've been, well, I've been in this business, I think 30 some years now. I think you're
Yeah.
similar there.
Yes.
You've got a lot of experience in this business. What's, uh, what's maybe one story about a delivery or something that over your career kind of stands out?
Well, I'll actually tell you about one that's here recently, uh, and it was about some struggles we were having in a corridor, and not only was it felt like we were missing what we needed to do, both from a customer to our contractors to our internal teams of what the expectation was. And without us all getting together and kind of go, okay, what's going on this side and this side? Okay, what do we got to do to get everybody together to meet that meet that goal? And in the last few months, bringing those few teams together, we were able to really work. And like I said, without the contractors, without the customer side of it, and everybody working together, we would have never have gotten to the goal that we were trying to get to. And we did, and we achieved that goal. And now we're considered, really best in class, and that comes down to what our contractors did.
That's awesome. That's a great story to share. Thank you for sharing that. And when I hear you say that, and it makes me think world class. We do provide world class service to our customers, to individuals we make deliveries to, and our contractors are an essential piece of that. So it's something to be reminded of every day. So that is great. So awesome, Gene. Again, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Um, what's something you would like to share with our contractors? Feedback, thoughts, advice. You got an open mic. What would you like to say to our contractors?
I would like to say to them, don't be afraid to speak to your operations teams. we're here for you. And if you need something, don't be afraid to reach out. I think there's a lot of ways to do that through, and you'll have to help me out here, Kevin, through our driver experience teams. And not only that, just be know we're here for you. And if you need something, we're on your side.
Agreed, and I could not agree with you more, Gene. I know just in working with you and around the company, our local operations representatives do a great job of maintaining communication with the contractors, being able to help them with a variety of questions and issues and that type of stuff. So I couldn't agree more. And on the driver experience, there is an email that if you ever have thoughts on anything that we speak about in here or anything in the company you have questions on, please shoot us an email to driverexperienceteam.com. That comes directly to myself, so we'll look at that and certainly appreciate the feedback. Gene, I'm going to share one other piece of advice that people or info about you people may not know.
Oh,
You are a marathon runner.
uh, yeah, something to that nature.
Well, it takes
Some would say I don't look like it, but yeah, I have run a couple of them now, and I try to stay very much active and do what I can. And you are correct. I've done quite a few races.
That is awesome. Gene and I talked about that quite a bit. The most I ever got to is a 10K. My wife has done some marathon and stuff, but 10K is it for me. After that, I jump in the car and get there another way. So,
Some days I feel that way too. I can promise.
all right. Well, Gene, again, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you in here and having you kind of share some of your wisdom and experience with our fleet. And if perhaps if you're open to it, we can have you in here another time in the future and do this again.
I'd love to. I appreciate the time, and thank you to all the contractors for all your support and everything you do. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, thank you. And I think we're gonna flip over to Liz to do our monthly safety message. So everybody hang on, and that'll be coming your way.
Thanks, Kevin, and thank you, Jean. Hey, everyone, and welcome to this month's Safety Spotlight, where we take a few minutes to refocus, recharge, and recommit to what matters most, getting everyone and everything home safely every single day. Last week was Driver Appreciation Week, and while the calendar may only mark out 5 days, our gratitude for you extends far beyond that. Whether you're delivering medications to patients, lab work to clinics, or parts to keep critical operations running, you are the face of US PAC and our mutual customers when out on the road. You are the ones who make on-time, safe, and professional deliveries happen. We hope that you saw our social media posts and received our communications last week, and we hope that you felt just how essential you are. Even though the official week has passed, please know that our appreciation for you is year-round. Thank you for your commitment and the professionalism that you bring every single day. This month's safety focus is about avoiding complacency in routine routes. Driving the same routes every day can become second nature, and that's where risk can creep in. When we feel comfortable, we're more likely to take shortcuts and let distractions in. This month, we're challenging you to do a couple of things. First is to do a 3-second mirror check before every merging of lanes or changing of lanes. Double checking intersections, even the ones that you know by heart. Staying alert in loading zones where foot traffic and forklifts might appear without any warning. And to limit distractions. Take a moment before each leg of your route to silence unnecessary notifications. Small changes in attention can lead to big improvements in safety. Your experience is invaluable, but staying alert keeps that experience working for you and not against you. As we reflect on Driver Appreciation Week, let's also renew our commitment to the core value that binds us all, and that is safety always. Not just for our customers, but for you, your family, your community, and every person who counts on you getting home safe. So stay safe, stay sharp, and I look forward to talking to you next time.
All right, great, Liz. Thank you so much for that safety message. I really appreciate you every month getting on with us and providing a safety message for the fleet and sharing that with our contractors. So, Liz, thank you very much. Now, for our next guest, as I said earlier, we're extremely fortunate. We got a couple of really smart operations guys with us today. We already talked to Gene, and now we're going to spend a little bit of time with Svetlan Blagojevic. Did I get that right, Svetlan?
You did.
All right. Svetlan is our director of operations in our healthcare network. Ms. Svetlan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yep. I know you've been with the company for a while now. How many years you been with the company?
13 and a half.
13 and a half years. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So anything to do with the company or with the transportation business, you're a good resource to come to. So
I've been through it all, I think.
I
I'm sure
bet.
there's a lot more to get through, but I've been through a lot of it.
Well, that's the thing in this business, right? Just when you think you know everything, something surprises you. So,
Yeah.
Svetlan, just so the contractors can get to know you a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started with the company about 13 and a half years ago. I've held every position within the company that on the operations side, from local part-time dispatcher to the site supervisor, operations manager, terminal manager, area manager, and on to regional director for both the critical mile side as well as the healthcare side. Um, I love this business. I like to say that I've grown up in logistics and I've kind of grown up with logistics. I started pretty young in my position, at least my first position, and have learned a lot along the way. You know, the do's and the don'ts.
I bet. And coming up through the company like that, having held a lot of positions, and congratulations, it sounds like you have steadily moved throughout the company. But I would have to think that being and having done all those just helps you so much in your current role and being successful at it.
Absolutely. I think a lot of my positions, I spent a lot of time on the ground with the contractors. You know, hearing about the issues, proposing fixes. And I think that's what's made me a better leader for my group of people now is living through those, issues. Typically, there's usually no scenario that doesn't come up where we can't get creative, and coming up with a solution through past experiences. And I'd like to say that a lot of my direct hands-on positions with independent contractors have helped me grow and helped me be a better leader to not only the folks that directly report to me, but to some of the drivers we speak to day to day.
Yeah, it's important certainly that we have a great, partnership and communication with our independent contractors,
Absolutely.
certainly.
Yeah,
And as we've acknowledged it several times, we have a great bunch of contractors in our fleet. So just we're very fortunate to have a great bunch of contractors who are professional, safe, and do a tremendous job. So
we do.
so it is true. So
Yeah,
uh,
especially in a gig economy. I mean, folks have a lot of choices. We have to stand apart from all of those choices. We got to be a place where folks want to come, and I think we've done a really good job being a place where independent contractors know they have the freedom and want to be a part of it.
agreed. I could not agree more. So that's well said. In your current roles, Phelan, so as director of operations in our healthcare vertical, what's a day look like for you? What's a day entail?
It every day is different, and I think that's what makes this role, and I think that's what makes this job at this company such a fun time. Every day is different. You might wake up at 3, 4 in the morning and open up emails and start dealing with who knows what a mess or whatever. And you may start the day out with zero issues, and that's kind of the beauty of it, right? Every day has its own challenge. Every day has its own positive as well. We're always working together towards making sure we're geared up to everything that our customers deserve. That we're proactive about potential solutions to problems, and that when we have to be reactive, we're reactive the right way. You know, I think that's the beauty of this business. Every day is different. Uh,
I can attest to that. Every day certainly is different, no doubt.
Absolutely.
And one thing, if you all are listening closely, you learned what it takes to be a regional director in operations. Gene Moore earlier said he starts his day about 5 o'clock in the morning. And Svet, I just heard you say sometimes you're looking at emails at 3 or 4 o'clock. So
Yeah. It's almost like a natural reaction. The first thing you do when you roll over, I'm sure it's not grab your phone and check your Outlook inbox, but it's
yep,
kind of the nature of the beast,
it
and
is.
you gotta
And
love
like
it.
well, and that's why I said if you like just constant energy and every day being different. Transportation definitely is the business to get
Absolutely.
into. So, Sven, a- as you look at this, how do you structure, the team you work with, the operations team, to make sure that, for every customer delivery, we're on time, it's delivered safely. How do you do that?
You know, I this is a question where I would stop and think, but I don't. I think there's a lot that can be done to structure an operation, right? Especially in logistics. But I've kind of lived by the process of set the expectations and don't micromanage.
Mhm.
I my team knows me very well. I think everyone that's worked with me in the past knows me very well. We set our expectations. We work together to accomplish set expectations and develop, proactive solutions to issues that may come up. Because none of us wants to deal with, a brand new issue each and every day. I think the key foundation to success in operations is being prepared for any type of scenario. Working um, through all of the knowledge that these folks bring. Right,
Mhm.
folks that have been with us for many years, folks that have come from different verticals and different companies. Everyone brings their own set of solutions, and I think once you get a think tank going, you learn a lot and you're able to sort of set the foundation, and we're in a business where every little move can change the outcome, right? And you want to be as thorough as possible. You want to be communicative as possible in the most proper way. And I think the foundation of what we do on this side is setting the expectations and letting these folks take on these challenges head on. Be a
Yep.
resource for, be a teacher, um, be available. I think that's one of the biggest functions of this role is be available for your teams. The challenges are going to come up, the questions are going to come up, and I take that. That's my pride and joy. This business, this vertical, I take pride in being available for my team to bounce ideas off of each other, to come up with creative solutions, and to just tackle those problems as they come up head on.
That's awesome. It's glad to hear you say that. I mean, communication is the key, and I mean, you keep open lines of communication, as you said, and have two-way flow of ideas and thoughts, and usually, and I can attest, I've been here 2.5 years, but I haven't seen any problems yet arose that we couldn't put our heads together as a
Yeah,
team and get it solved. So,
always
very
figure it
well
out.
said. Um, with your experience in the business and with the company, um, you know, is there any one memory that stands out to you? Maybe a shipment or a customer experience that you'd like to share with everybody?
There's so many, you know. They're flashing before me as you ask that question. There's so many good ones, bad ones, memorable ones. I think one of the most memorable ones for me was probably about 10, 11 years ago. It was an emergency situation. One of our local customers in the area, and it was, an immediate need. We had a patient that was in pain that needed meds ASAP. We had to produce a resource immediately, get somebody out to the facility immediately, and I think we wanted to turn around and be as quick as possible. Right, what we're doing here, every customer has a different, type of delivery. Every customer has a different sense of urgency, but in the healthcare field, it's the end user we're trying to satisfy, and I think that sticks with me to this day.
Mhm.
You might have saved a life. You
Yeah,
might have eased somebody's pain. The family members there that are, I can't believe you guys got there this quick. We just made the request 30 minutes ago. That this is the type of service we ask, and that's the type of service our customers and their customers deserve.
that's awesome. That's a great story, Svetlan. Thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, that's really a great example. And as you were telling that, it made me think, and we've touched on this, I think, a few times in our podcast, is in our healthcare vertical. It's we're hauling stuff that makes a difference in people's lives, right? Just the example you just gave, someone at the hospital waiting for medication. We do that a lot with a lot of our pharmaceutical customers, but also now in our life sciences, we're hauling other things that are critical at times in people in their lives and can make a huge impact in someone's life. It's stories like what you just shared with us that really bring that home about how important what we do truly is.
Yeah. And how important it is to be as perfect as possible. Those processes, those steps we put in place to be proactive, they're just as important when one of those crucial deliveries comes up. Not every delivery is going to be a 911, and not every delivery is going to be, you know, take 3 days to get it out there. But you want to be prepared for every situation, and you want to know that everybody cares, right?
Yep.
I think that's the key, is to care, not only about our in the moment, but how it affects the people at the end of that delivery or at the end of that crucial pickup.
That is awesome. And like I said, that is extremely well said. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That, again, really brings home what we do and the importance of it. So, um, great. Well, as we're getting ready to wrap up here, Svetlin, is there any words of advice or wisdom or experience that you'd like to share with our contractors? As I told Gene earlier in the podcast, you've got an open mic. What would you like to tell our contractors?
Uh, you know, I'd say trust in US Pack, right? In a world where, the gig economy is evolving and there's so many options out there, um, trust in US Pack to be one of the providers for your household. I think we've got one of the best teams that I think I've ever seen, from all of our sub departments to our support departments to our operations departments. We've got some of the best independent contractors in the business dealing with our day-to-day deliveries. I think I'd say trust that you're in the right hands. Trust US Pack to be somebody who can provide for you and your family.
That's awesome. Great advice and great thoughts. So, Svetlin, again, I know you're an extremely busy guy. Thank you so much for taking some time to share your wisdom and experience with our contractors and fleet. You said you had a lot of stories earlier. We may hold you to that. We may invite you to come back again and
Not
share
a
some more of
problem.
those. So
I
we'd love
look
to have you
forward.
back.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
Boy, what an episode. Did it not live up to what I said in the beginning about how much knowledge we were going to get and how just great a guest that Gene and Svetlin were going to be. I want to thank both of those gentlemen for taking the time to join our podcast today and to share some of their wisdom and knowledge with us. Like I said, those are two extremely knowledgeable, uh, experienced, and really revered people in our industry. So we were very fortunate to have them. So Gene and Svetlin, thank you so much for your time. Again, you don't hear it many times, but Driver Appreciation Week, and it's not just that week. That's the week we certainly want to make sure we take the time to thank you and acknowledge. But man, each and every day, what you do for our customers and for our company, we certainly appreciate it all the way from those of us in roles around the company to our customers and certainly those people we provide services to. So thank you each and every day for the great and tremendous and safe job that you do out there delivering shipments. A quick reminder, if you have questions or thoughts or things you want to see in this podcast, please share those with us. Our email address is driverexperience@gouspack.com. And send any thoughts you have, feedback. Again, we would love to see it and hear from you, our contractors. So, having said that, again, Kate and I want to thank you all very much for tuning in every month, taking the time to spend some time with us. Let us put together some information to help you be successful here at US Pack. And and I can't believe this is edition 9 already. This year has gone by quickly. So we certainly look forward to each and every one. I wish you all a great month till we see you again. Take care and be safe.